Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian. I'm here today at the James Julia Auction House up in gorgeous and frigid rural Maine, taking a look at some of the cool guns they have coming up for sale in their March 2015 auction. Something I've always been a big fan of are the very early manually repeating, and frankly the very early semi-auto, handguns, as you may know if you've watched a bunch of my videos. Well, I had the chance to take a look at one particular Austrian manually operated pistol today, and it's definitely something I wanted to share with you guys. Now, this is designed by an Austrian gentleman named Josef Schulhof. He was born in 1824 and actually had a long career as a farmer, of all things, until in 1870 he finally got sick of it, threw down the plow, I suppose, and took off for Vienna to become a gunsmith. He ended up having a number of patents and designs to his name. He started first, his first successful gun was a rifle in 1882, and then in 1884 he developed his first manually operated handgun, which looked a bit like this guy. Not quite identical. This is actually an 1887 model, and well, it's just pretty neat. This particular one is chambered for the .320 British revolver cartridge, which is one of the unusual features about it as a prototype. It has an 8-round magazine, and you'll see where that magazine is when we bring the camera back in. It's pretty neat. So very few of these were made between all the different varieties. The highest serial number Schulhof known is actually number 36. He was hoping to get a military contract for these pistols, but that didn't work out, so he ended up selling them on a limited scale commercially. So some did make it into service, but not very many. This one, of course, was not sold. This was a working prototype. So without any further ado, why don't we bring the camera back here and check out the insides of this neat, very early pistol. So these early manually repeating pistols, I think, are just really cool. Before people had figured out how to really do a reliable self-loading pistol, this was the alternative. So I've already disassembled the big bits on this one. I took the grip plates off. That's pretty simple, but I want to be real careful when we do it. I do want to point out this one actually comes with a single cartridge. It's marked RWS 320, which fits. The research I did suggested that this pistol is chambered for the .320 British revolver cartridge. And then we have side plates on both sides of the gun. This one's really tight, so I left this side on, and I took off this side plate. So that's the plate itself. You'll notice there are 2 screws, but only 1 screw hole. The reason for that is that this front screw is actually just a camming block. Kind of clever. Now let's take a closer look inside at exactly how this works. All right, so what's happening is inside the receiver of the gun, the lever here has an extension that goes up to right here, where you can see it has a little bit of a round track cut in it. That track guides a pin on this plate, and this is the locking plate. So when the gun's fully in battery, that plate right there pops up and locks against the top of the receiver, just like that. Then when I pull the lever forward, that track inside pulls the locking plate down, and then as it pulls the bolt back, the bolt has this protrusion that guides this cam, and that cycles this curved piece forward and back. That piece is actually the follower. So our magazine is tubular. That's the gate that we load cartridges in, and you would put cartridges in nose down into that tube and fit 8 of them in there. And then you close the cover. And if we look at it from this side, we have this covered tube running all the way up the front strap of the grip. And then there's a little tab here that will grab onto the rim of the cartridge. It's under spring pressure from this very long spring. So that will grab a cartridge, pull it as let's see, if we start with the bolt closed, we have a cartridge sitting here that hasn't been reached yet. When I pull the bolt down, this pops over onto that last cartridge, hooks over the rim right there, and then when I cycle the bolt closed, it pulls all of this whole stack of cartridges up. The topmost one gets pushed up. I don't know if I can get in there very well to show you. There it is. There is a feed elevator spring right there. See me pushing on that? right there. That's our elevator lifter spring. And the whole stack of cartridges gets pushed up to here, and the first one, the foremost one, gets lifted up, and as the barrel closes, it gets pushed into the chamber. Then this little sheath trigger fires the gun. You can see when I pull the trigger, in fact it's easier to see when it's open, when I pull the trigger, this bit moves. It's under tension from this long flat spring. And then this piece is pulled down. That releases the striker, which is this piece. There's a striker spring inside this tube. When I release that, the firing pin goes forward and fires. So if I open the bolt all the way, it'll catch on the sear notch. And then as I close the lever, we're putting tension on the striker. We're putting tension on the striker right here. Now there's something going on with this pistol, and I think I'd need to take the other side plate off to really identify it. It doesn't want to quite go into battery when there is tension on the striker. Not exactly sure why that is, but something, as you can see, we've got the tension. This would go a little bit farther. That plate would pop up fully into the receiver, and then when you pull the sheath trigger, this drops and fires the gun. Well, if you would like to have the opportunity to take this apart anytime you feel like, it is, of course, going up for sale at the auction house here. So if you click the link below, you can get over to Julia's auction catalog. This is lot number 2224. You can look it up, check out their high-resolution pictures of the cool cartridge, original cartridge that comes with it, the cataloger's description, and find all the info you need to either set up an account and bid online or make plans to come down here in person to the auction. Thanks for watching.